Welcome to another GDS WinBidPro version 15 training video. In this particular video, we're going to show you how to update your pricing in the Tubelite Inc. catalog for the program. And there's an update tool that helps you do this. So let's first show you how, if you haven't installed the catalog already, that's important too. So you need to install the latest catalog. And we just went to our gdsestimating.com page. From the home page, I clicked V15 catalogs here, and I would click the latest Tubelite catalog, 2013 R1, and then I would just run it. If you have Firefox or Google Chrome, you can save it and then run the file after you save it. And installing a catalog is the same for all the vendors. You just hit yes, I agree, and yes, continue, and next, and it's done. So when you do that, the catalog gets added to your list of vendors in the V15 program, and you can, let's actually go ahead and get in there, and you'll see it right away when you get into the program. So after it opens up and you log in here, you hit OK, then we'll see that list of vendors. So you'll notice I have the brand new 2013 R1 and I have an older 2012 R2. So the purpose of the update tool is to allow you to keep using your older catalog by updating the pricing in it from the newest catalog. So if when Tubelite comes out with a new catalog, it has new pricing, maybe a few new part numbers, um, you can update your older catalog with that information with this update tool. So that way you don't have to start using a new catalog. Um, as you may know, when you use a new catalog, you start over with jobs. There's no jobs to begin with except for a sample. And then if you've made any changes to your parts, added part numbers, changed framing systems, doors, entrances, any of that stuff, those changes are all in your older catalog and are not going to be in your newer ones. So a newer catalog is kind of like a clean slate it's obviously been configured with all the tube light systems and doors and all that, but it doesn't have any changes that you've made. So it makes sense that you want to use your older catalog and just apply new pricing to it. That way you don't lose any of your changes. So let's go ahead and get to the Windows Explorer that shows us all our files and folders on the computer. And that's where we need to go. We need to go to the C drive. We need to go to our WinBidPro folder. And then we need to find our Tubelite folder. And here it is. So inside the Tubelite folder, there's all our databases. And there's also the file called update Tubelite. And it's an executable, so you just run that file. So here's what I would do. If let's say that this week Tubelite came out with a brand new update and their entire catalog was updated. 5 or 6 different colors have been applied new pricing to, and you need to get those changes put into your older one. So what I'm going to do is run the update tool. If you see a message like this, it's fine, just say yes. And the first thing I need to do is select the Tubelite file that I want to apply the update to. So that would be my 2012. It could be any Tubelite file on yours, on your machine. But let's say, for example, it's a 2012. So we select that file, and don't pick a file that says test or backup or temp or anything like that, unless you've specifically been using that file and that was what you named it, or that it has that name in it. So kind of know what the name of the file that you normally pick is. And we know that actually by going back to, let's see, if inside our program, when we select or when we go to that list of vendors, it shows you the full path of that file. So the name's right here. So just be familiar with the name that you normally pick, and that's the name that you're selecting when you do the update. So the first thing I would do is, let's say I want to apply all those changes that Tubelite made. I want to go to option 2 here. So I want to update pricing from the latest published price list. So that would be in the 2013 catalog that I downloaded. So really this is the only thing I'm going to be using that 2013 catalog for, is just to apply the updates. And then I hit, this is the correct one, so I hit yes. So now it's actually going through the update. So any finish colors that actually changed, or finishes that kind of moved around in the columns that you see when you go to your parts list, those are getting updated as well. So it's going to match the color, the finish color configuration that the newest catalog has. So if they've dropped a color and added a new one, then it's going to make that change to your older catalog too. So it's not going to remove any part numbers. It's not going to, you know, change any framing systems, doors, any of that kind of stuff. It's just updating the actual prices. So, okay, so you'll get this message when it's done. And then we could go into your, let's see, we're in the 2013. So let's actually open that 2012 because this is the one. So if I'm done with the 2013, I can actually remove it from the list here. When I remove it from the list, it's still on my computer, so I can actually add it back later if I wanted to. But now it doesn't show up on the list and it doesn't confuse me because I've got too many. So it's simple. Like I just pick my 2012 and now I can open up that one just like you always would. And then I can go to my parts list and I would see whatever new finish names there are. If they're organized a little differently or whatever, it's going to show me all the updated pricing and everything that is hunky dory. So we're all good with that update. So now option number two. Let's say that I'm going to go back to my Explorer window here. Let's say that we did that update, and then a month from now, Tubelite decides to change a price. So in fact, something recently they've done is they've changed their GP finish multiplier. And I know that I've already done my 2013 update, but now I have to do one more update, but just for one finish. So I can actually do that with option one if we go back into our update tool. So again, back from my C drive, the WinBidPro Tubelite folder, I run the update tool. I select the vendor I want to update, which is still my 2012. And you can see still that that 2013 is there. So I've selected the 2012, it confirms it here. So option one, I'm actually updating pricing of one or more finishes based on a base factor price or a base color price. So the base for Tubelite is always their clear, and I believe it's their anodized um, finish. So that is the base price. So anything is a multiple of that. So what we're going to want to do is change the GP, which used to be a 1.25 multiplier, to a 1.1. And so I'm selecting my base price, which is this one. I'm not putting a multiplier in there because that's the base that it's getting from the actual pricing from. I'm not checking any of these boxes because I don't want to zero out anything. If I did, let's say, want to zero out a price because Tubelite decided they dropped a certain color and you don't want to see the prices in your catalog anymore, you could actually check a box and it would zero that one out. You wouldn't have to put a factor in that same field. So it's either a factor or a checkbox, not both. Um, so if that makes sense, I'm kind of flying through it. But basically in this case, I'm just going to take this one finish column, the GP price, multiply it on 1.1 times whatever the base clear price is and update that column with that result. So when I hit that, it's real quick and I can go out of here. And you notice I had this file open. That's okay too. You can have the same file open when you do the updating. Doesn't hurt to have the program closed either, so either way. So now I could actually confirm that this worked by going to, so I can see both prices. So here's my GP Kynar and here's the C1 clear. If I want to take my calculator and I want to do a little test here, and I thought my calculator came up. Let's see. Oh, there's a calculator. Okay, so let's take that 561 price, multiply it by 1.1, and that should equal what our GP is set at, and it's 617.10. So that tells me that it worked, because it used to be a 1.25, which was a higher number, so they lowered that price. So we're all done. We've updated that one finished column, and now I can keep using my 2012 catalog with all the latest pricing. That's it. Thanks very much.